Howdy, y'all. Are you ready for another adventure with the Rock Doctor? Well, let's go explore. Have you ever stopped to think about barriers, borders, and imaginary lines? I'm not talking about math concepts here. We as humans have always been fascinated with drawing imaginary lines and setting up borders and barriers. We build walls, fences, structures, and utilize natural barriers to keep something or someone out. Whether it is to protect our territory, our property, or to maintain a way of life, this impulse for boundary making has been a significant part of human behavior for centuries. It actually helps fulfill our safety needs, our physical needs, our need for order, and our need for power. This desire for borders can be seen throughout history. From the Great Wall of China to the common white picket fence, human beings have invested significant time and resources to divide and separate ourselves from others. Boundaries, by definition, are physical or imaginary lines that separate two spaces. We rely heavily on boundaries to define our identity and maintain our sense of order. We create boundaries so that we can differentiate ourselves from everything else that exists in the world. For instance, when we talk about physical boundaries, we often talk about fences, walls, or structures. We often use fences to separate our private property from our public property. On the other hand, when we talk about imaginary lines, we often refer to time zones and state boundaries using latitude and longitude. One of the most obvious examples of imaginary lines are the time zones. The time zones, as we now know them, were created in 1883. Prior to 1883, there were over 144 different local times in North America alone. It was quite a mess, and it made keeping railroad schedules almost impossible. The time zones were created by taking the 360-degree circle representing the circumference of the globe at the equator and dividing it every 15 degrees of longitude, creating the 24-hour time zones and, as such, the 24-hour day. These time zones have been adjusted as population and cities grew close to the imaginary lines to form the time zone map that we are currently using. Another example of imaginary lines are state boundaries. These imaginary lines have been drawn to separate different territories into the recognizable state shapes. People who live within these state boundaries often identify themselves with the state they are from and visit imaginary state boundaries to photograph the state lines, which, of course, are imaginary lines. Historically, from 1825 to 1945, the Western United States underwent significant changes, particularly with regard to its state boundaries and territories. During this period, the Mexican-American War was fought, and the United States gained control of large territories west of the Mississippi River, including California, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, and parts of Colorado, Wyoming, Kansas, and Oklahoma. The Homestead Act of 1862 provided land grants of up to 160 acres to anyone who was willing to live on and cultivate the land for a period of 5 years. Due to the Homestead Act, land surveys played a crucial role as the nation expanded westward, creating a necessity to establish accurate land boundaries and ownership. In the Western United States, land surveys were largely conducted through the use of the Public Land Survey System, a grid-like system that divided land into townships and ranges. Townships were 6 miles by 6 miles in size, and each was further divided into 36 sections of 1 square mile each. The Public Land Survey System established a clear and consistent method for measuring land, which became essential as Western settlement and land acquisition accelerated in the 19th century. If you have ever flown across the United States and looked out the airplane window, you have observed the checkerboard pattern of the land across the Midwest. This is a great example of the Public Land Survey System and its land divisions. As a direct result of all these surveys creating the western United States, one very unusual location was created in the process, Four Corners Common Point. Today, the Four Corners Monument is a unique landmark located in the southwestern United States and is situated at the intersection of the states of Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, and Utah. The monument marks the only spot in the country where 4 states come together at a single point. It has become a popular destination for visitors seeking to photograph themselves standing in all 4 states, straddling the imaginary state lines. It does make for a very unique photograph. However, did you know that there are 62 locations in the United States where 3 states converge and touch? 38 of these locations have monuments to mark the exact spot. But are they all located in the real location where the 3 states touch? In Arizona, there is a 3-state monument where Arizona, California, and Nevada touch. In 1872, A.W. von Schmidt was tasked with surveying the mountainous regions of Nevada and California to determine the best pathway for a potential transcontinental railroad. The survey provided valuable information on the topography, geology, and water resources of the area, and also established the southern terminus of the California-Nevada state boundary. It established the first officially recognized oblique state line between Nevada and California. So here we are at the Tri-State Monument in Arizona. Now, these are not unique. There's a lot of them. There's actually 62 areas in the United States where 3 states come together and touch. 38 of which have monuments, like this one. So this actually commemorates the location where Arizona, Nevada, and California actually touch. So this is one of the 62 Tri-State monuments. Now that we've had the opportunity to actually take a look at the history of this area and this tri-state marker, one of the 62 that are actually across the United States, this is actually located in the wrong spot. So this marker, now keep in mind, this marker was put in 1873, and we know all about the surveying of the western part of the United States now. So nonetheless, this marker, one of the 62 and one of the 38 that has a marker, is located in the wrong spot. So let's take a little adventure and let's go over and take a look at where this marker should be located and the reason why it is not where it's supposed to be. There is a very good reason. Okay, so let's continue the adventure. This is the spot that's actually the Tri-State Monument. It's out in the middle of the Colorado River. I hope you have enjoyed this little adventure exploring the only 4-corner state monument in the United States, as well as a look at one of the 62 triple state markers. As always, don't take a trip, let the trip take you. I'll be seeing you real soon on our next adventure. If you like this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe and drop me a comment.